Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Deep Impact slash Soft Landing podcast. I'm your host,
Hold on.
not just this evening, but I'm your host. You happy, Mark?
Ron Howard.
You happy? Is that better for you, buddy? I'm your host, Bo Walker, and I'm joined by Miss Sophia Rose, and she's the only guest. She is the only other person on this podcast this week. No, we were joined by Mark Carson and Sophia Rose, Mr. Jason Cephas, and Mr. James Piazza. So I'm keeping up with the Kardashians this week, and I'm drinking a Twisted Tea Light. I'm not a fan of normal Twisted Tea, but the Twisted Tea Light, my goodness, is it delicious. Mark?
I will agree.
It really tastes that different.
Dude, they're banging.
Real question. Can you get on the Twisted Tea bottles of Twisted Tea Light?
I haven't found them yet. I've only found them in the cans.
Or same thing, isn't it? Isn't that what everybody tries to get on?
What?
Didn't my sister and cousin always say for years about how they wanted to get on something Twisted Tea? Because don't you submit pictures or something that they have just right there?
You used to be able to. I know that.
Oh, that's dumb.
No, they're light. They're delicious. It tastes better than regular Twisted Tea, and they go down very well in a funnel and tube.
That they do. Experience.
Yes.
It was this weekend.
Yes, Saturday. We got together and
with Sheila. Sheila made her appearance at our party and had some beer flowing through her.
And then we got bit by a couple water moccasins, and yeah.
Mark took water moccasins to his grave. Apparently,
my wife drove me home. So
yeah, I took the remaining of the pitcher of water moccasins to the noggin after y'all left. That wasn't a great idea.
Mark FaceTimed me when I was driving home, and I said, "Hey, I'm walking through my door now," and he goes, "All right, give me 12 minutes." I mean, I was literally my door was open, and he said, "Give me 12 minutes." Never saw him again.
Sounds about right. But no, so we got together and we watched the Ohio State Buckeyes. We are 1-0. All right.
It's not what Notre Dame can say.
It is not. Suck it, Kyle.
Suck it, Kyle Shark Fin.
But something else happened this week. The day before, the Buckeye local Panthers got their first win of the season.
All I'm saying is I projected this.
They beat Shadyside 28-13.
Are they undefeated?
Who?
Buckeye.
No, they're 1-2.
Oh, well.
No, but both teams, yeah, they work. It's better than 0-3. Shadyside is 0-3. It's both teams were 0-2 going into the game, so you knew one team was getting their first win of the season. Started out with a touchdown run, 95 yards. So long story short, Buckeye won. It was great. A lot of penalties called on Shadyside. They looked very undisciplined.
Was it in Shadyside or Buckeye?
It was in Shadyside. We all went. We went to the bar and had some shots before the game.
Damn, that would have been the first Buckeye game that I would have went to willingly in a lot of years.
But yeah, it was a good game on the Buckeye side. Much
better than week one.
Yes, much better than week one. I'm not saying that Shadyside's terrible this season, but they have 5 kids on their bench that aren't playing.
Yeah, they have a really small team.
They do. They've got they have less than 20 kids on their entire team. They're very small, young. They don't have a lot of seniors. A lot of them are freshmen and sophomores playing. But other than that, it was a good game on the Buckeye side. It was 28-7 until the 4th, and then they gave up another touchdown. And then they blocked a field goal, which I was very proud of them for that. They did. It was a good game. Ferry played Union Local and got their shit kicked in. Union Local is legit this season when it comes to Ohio Valley High School football. After this Buckeye game, they're gonna finish the season 3-7 because I was chalking this up as a loss, but I don't see them going any better than 3-7, and now I might have Shadyside going 2-8, maybe.
I don't know. Shadyside didn't look good. They got a lot to figure out if they're even going to get one win this year.
The only team I see that they could potentially beat is Monroe Central. Buckeye plays them the week or 1 or 2 weeks before they play Shadyside. So if Buckeye blows them out of the water, I think Shadyside might stand a chance. Let's move on from high school football because that was really all we wanted to talk about was the Buckeye game. Now let's talk about the Buckeyes. The Ohio State University started the
Official
season
now.
against the Irish of Notre Dame. And I'm not going to lie, they had us in the first half. I'm not going to lie. But Ohio State is a second half team, and they came back. Mark, hold on. What is on your shirt?
It's the Thriller album with Phil Kessel.
Okay, that's what I thought.
So the Thriller, baby.
That's awesome.
So the Thriller.
But no, Ohio State they came back in the second half and ended up winning 21-10. Is that the final?
I think so. 21-9 or something. I don't remember.
I don't either. But they ended up they won. They won.
Won.
That's the important part. I don't think Notre Dame should have been ranked fifth overall to start the season. I'm glad that they were that high. That'll look good for Ohio State, even though they struggled a little bit in the beginning. CJ Stroud missed a couple easy passes. Didn't look like he didn't play like he was a Heisman finalist last season. But that's just my 2 cents on that.
21-10 was the final.
21-10? Okay. James, did you see anything that stood out to you during that Ohio State game?
No, I wasn't honestly watching it like with the intent of like analyzing everything. I was just watching it for the sake of watching it because it's a first Ohio State game that I've watched since moving here.
Oh, really?
That I was just watching for fun. I mean, because I've probably only watched 5, if that, since I've gotten here. So it was just fun to go out and do it in a crowd, and
yeah,
it was just fun.
Since it was a night game, I was actually able to watch it and enjoy the game because most of their games are noon, and I'm at work. I have to listen to them. But I did actually listen to a couple games this week. UNC and Appalachian State. They put on
Appalachian
State
game. Missed 2 extra points that would have tied the game or won it for them.
Yes.
No, it was 2 2-point conversions.
What? No, I thought one was an extra point that got blocked, and the other was a 2-point conversion.
I don't know. I know they missed a 2-point conversion with a wide open receiver.
I know their kicker was like dying because he, I thought, missed 2 extra points, but maybe just 1.
Did you guys see the end of the Florida State LSU game last night? Okay, for those of you that didn't, Florida State kicked off after scoring a touchdown. LSU, or they punted. Either way, LSU muffed it. Florida State recovered it at the goal line. Like they were at like the 1 or 2 yard line. They go to run it in and seal the game. They fumble it. LSU recovers. LSU marches down. 8 seconds left. Their quarterback throws a pass to their tight end, and he catches it and runs out of bounds at the 2 yard line with 1 second left. Okay. They throw the touchdown pass. Touchdown. They go for 1 to tie the game. Florida State blocks their second kick of the night to win the game on a blocked field goal with 1 second left. It was absolutely the craziest last minute and a half of college football I've ever watched in my life.
Did you not remember the Ohio State Michigan game, the 42-41, when they were both ranked a couple years ago?
No, I don't.
Yeah, I couldn't even watch when Michigan went for 2 to win it when there was no time left in regulation. Yeah, that was being part of that one of the fandoms. That was
that the one where the first down was the whole big question. Like they were.
Remember?
I'm pretty sure it was.
Okay, I think I remember parts of it, but I don't remember the very end of it.
I'm like 90% sure that was the same.
Yeah. Game. Other than that, I mean, there were a couple other cool moments in college football this weekend. The quarterback for Florida State or for Florida, the Gators, pulled off one of the most incredible pump fakes, spin moves that I've ever seen. He had a defender from Utah who was ranked 7th before going into unranked Florida. And they got their
my upset pick
absolutely kicked in. They got their shit kicked in by Florida.
They were winning a decent amount of the game, but Florida just stayed in the whole time.
Yeah,
Florida's a
it
tough place to
was
play, and
no
Florida's never.
Florida blew them out. I think
Utah was
Utah
winning at one point.
it must have been at the very beginning of the game because
I don't
Utah
know. It
only
doesn't matter.
had
I'll
like
look it up, but it doesn't matter.
7 points.
Keep talking
Um,
about.
but he pump faked and spun. Oh no, you're right, James. I was thinking of a different game. I was thinking of Georgia Oregon. You're right. The final was 29-26 in that game. But anyhow, he pump faked as a defender jumped and he spun out of it. The defender went to the ground and then he rolled out, passed the ball to his receiver who had his feet planted in the end zone, no one around him. Just touchdown. It's beautiful.
They
But
also had a backyard brawl.
yes, we did have the backyard brawl. WVU and Pitt didn't go WVU's way.
That was a close one.
Yes, but I
They
will
had a
say
chance,
this.
too.
They did have a chance, and in my opinion, WVU looked better than Pitt as an unranked team playing against the
I
number,
think
I
they
believe
both
they were
looked really
17.
good. I think,
Oh, see,
yeah, Pitt was 17.
yes, I personally think WVU looked better than Pitt did in that game, especially being unranked and holding their own against, number 17 ranked team in the country.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but
I wonder where, if you would extend rankings out, where WVU would be. I would imagine they're probably not far out of the top
No, I
25.
probably maybe
Um,
30th is what I was
yeah, I
thinking.
mean, they're definitely top 40.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're not. I wouldn't say they're too far away from Pitt. Um, Speaking of rankings, though, rankings are supposed to come out today or tomorrow because today's a holiday.
Well, there's still one more game tonight.
yeah.
Okay, so yeah, they'll come
Clemson
out
and Georgia
tomorrow.
Tech is tonight at
Yeah.
8 o'clock.
So I think I truly do. I have to think that Ohio State drops.
Oh, I think they'll stay second for right now.
I think they'll go to third. Georgia blew out
Mhm.
Oregon. I
Yeah.
mean, blew them out. So I would imagine Ohio State drops to 3. Georgia goes 2. Obviously, Bama's going to stay 1.
But
If
these
Clemson wins, then obviously they'll stay 4 unless they just destroy Georgia Tech. And if they do, then I imagine Ohio State drops to 4, Clemson 3.
now here's my thing. These are Georgia's not or Clemson's not going to jump Ohio State if they beat a no ranked Georgia Tech team.
Oh, if they blow them out like
No.
50-0, yeah.
No, they're not. But also these rankings don't mean jack shit until week 7 when the college football playoff rankings come out.
Which means
It
they don't mean
still
jack
means-
shit anyway because they're the AP rankings, which still continue. So,
Yeah, the AP rankings and the college football playoff rankings are two separate things.
I know.
yeah.
I know. I mean, I'm just saying. I think it still means something. I mean, you
Yeah.
want to be ranked number 1. Obviously, moving on down the line, you'd rather be number 1, number 2, number 3, or 4 in the football playoff poll. You don't want to be
Yes.
first out. But I mean, AP ranking still means something because
Yes.
sorry, but if you're ranked 20 at weeks 1 through 6, week 7, you're not going to be in the top 4 in
No.
the college football playoffs.
Well,
But even if you're 5th or 6th, weeks 1 through 6, you could still make the jump to be in the playoffs.
So we can touch on this with the college football playoff expansion, moving to 12 teams as early as 2024. The presidents are pushing for it to start in 2024. The presidents of the universities and the conferences. It's up to the commissioners and everybody else if it actually does start in 2024 or 2026. Now, the the 6 conferences, the big 6 conferences, Big Ten, Pac-12, all those, SEC. The winner of the conference gets into the playoffs. So whoever wins the Big Ten is automatically in. Okay, the big 6 conferences. But then the other 6 teams are the 6 at-large teams, which are the next 6 highest-ranking teams at the end of the season. And they also said that they're going to try and keep it true to the bowl game atmosphere. So if the Pac-12 conference winner and the Big Ten conference winner, they're not the top, if they're 5 and 6 or 6 and whatever, they will play each other in the Rose Bowl. So they're going to try and keep that like the traditions of the bowl games, especially the Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
But the only thing with that is you have to be in a conference to get one of the first 6 bids, which means Notre Dame would not be 1 through 6. They would be 7 8, 9, 10, 11, or 12.
The thing is like,
And
I
that's
mean,
I think that's good. Like we said last week, I think that's going to push them into a conference.
yeah, but that's the thing is, it's like Notre Dame. Yeah, you don't have to be in a conference, but like that you, if you're not, you pay the price for not being in that, and that's if
Exactly.
that gives you a bye week
And
or
that's
an
what there's
easier
the
matchup,
first.
then that's your choice. But you know
Yeah,
what?
the
You have
top
the
four,
choice.
the top four ranked teams will be getting a bye week.
Yeah,
So
then
that
that's
gives them incentive to join. So they're not playing, a potential of 15 game season
yeah.
by the end of the season, which they're trying to avoid, like NFL, like having a 17 game season and having the exacerbated risk of injury. Because the whole goal is to make it to the pros and to make that paycheck.
No, it's to
But
make the NCAA money is what the goal is.
well, now. Well, I'm talking about like if you're looking at player health, they're trying to
Yeah.
prolong their careers and
Yeah,
stuff
but who
like that.
cares about player health? Come on, Bo.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, who gives a shit about them?
I do think I agree with Bo to a point. I think with the expansion now a guaranteed thing, and
Yeah.
like you said, there's top 6 teams. This is, I don't want to say it's forcing, but it's more or less, I think it's forcing Notre Dame to pick a conference.
That's the whole reason they're doing the expansion.
About it, geographically, I think obviously, and who Notre Dame historically plays, I think the ACC made sense, but I think they're going to join the Big Ten because they're going to bring back that Michigan rivalry once every couple of years. They're going to, the Ohio State and Notre Dame game went really well, at least to my knowledge.
105,000 people at Ohio Stadium.
And Notre Dame, Michigan was always a really big rivalry.
It's not as big as Notre Dame Stanford, but I'm sure Notre Dame.
For sure. But
the thing is by making it the conference, by joining the Big Ten, whatever conference they join is going to want them Notre Dame in the conference.
I mean, it's going to be a money grab either way.
Yeah. So Notre Dame is going to make the exception to where it's like we have to play Stanford every year. Like they're going to put that in their contract somewhere in order to join a conference.
Yeah, I mean Notre Dame is one of the biggest schools in the country. Not student wise, whatever, but they are one of the biggest names in college football in the country. Fan wise, I would argue they're one of the biggest in the world. You got to think about they're Catholic.
It's hard to compare with the world. I mean,
well, but you also got to think that.
Yeah, I would say in American sports, Notre Dame is a top 10 at the very lowest.
I'd agree.
But I'm just saying they're one of the most recognizable teams in the world. You got to think people all around the world know about Notre Dame. They know about
they know about European soccer.
Well, yes, but I mean, people in Australia aren't saying like, "Oh, I'm going to go watch European soccer when I've got."
They would I guarantee more people know Liverpool and Man United than they know Notre Dame. Guaranteed. I'm going
to argue on that just because of the whole religious aspect of Notre Dame and the Catholic religion and all that stuff. That's where I'm arguing on that.
Maybe you're right.
I mean,
I think in the world you've got Liverpool, you've got Chelsea, you've got Man U.
We're naming all places in England.
Okay,
well, I understand that, but these are the biggest brands.
Yeah, I mean
these are bigger than Dallas Cowboys football. I mean, these are the biggest soccer. These are the biggest non-national soccer teams, brands in the world, and
Now in America,
EPL
in the
teams,
US, I would
kill all.
In the U.S., I would, you for sure Notre Dame is top 10 at the very lowest. I mean, we don't have to sit here and name 9 other franchises we assume are up there. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious on places that have the best travel. I mean, the Yankees, you've got the Cowboys, just based on how they travel, the Packers and the Steelers. I mean, it's
the Lakers. Yeah.
The Lakers. So, but in college sports, top 5.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I'm going
all American.
Yeah,
I'm going to go in all American sports. They're a top 5 fan back school.
Oh, see, no, I'm going to go in the world. They're a top 15 recognizable team in the world.
I don't know. You also have the school aspect and the team aspect, which is hard outside of the country.
I mean, I'm not sure I can name 15 other. I don't know if I could name you 15 sports like teams in other countries other than
international.
other than Canada, because I could probably name you every Canadian team, but other than Canada, I don't think I can name you a team, very many teams in other countries.
Yeah, I
Oh,
agree.
I could probably
That aren't
name,
nationally represented teams. Like, oh,
Yeah.
Argentina soccer. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, but like I said, I knew Chelsea, I knew Liverpool,
Mhm.
Man
Man
U.
United, Man City.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure if I
Wexford,
thought hard enough, I bet I
Everton.
could think of a couple of those.
Yeah,
A
I mean
couple more places, but
you
I'm
look
pretty
at
sure they're all English Premier League teams.
they
too.
are exactly every
Yeah.
single one that we've named.
probably.
I don't know. See that I just think that me personally, I think they're a top 15 recognizable team.
Thing is like unless we have somebody who like studies sports culture on an
That's
international
what
level,
I
or
was
is
trying to look.
or is internationally
Yeah.
like an international that can we're going to argue the semantics of this that we have nothing about.
That's what I'm trying to find a decent article. It says the 50 most popular sports
It
teams.
doesn't matter.
But this was as of 2011, so it's
That-
not.
and they're probably going to be professional too.
No, High State football is number 46.
Okay.
I'm trying to go through real quick and scroll through and see if I see anything. Like there's USC Trojans are 33, Liverpool FC is 32. So I mean, North Carolina Tar Heels basketball is 28. The New York Jets are 27.
I think
I mean, I would
Liverpool
Jets and Giants.
football club are bigger than the New York Jets.
21.
say they
Notre
damn
Dame
near always
Fighting
have been.
Irish.
Gonna say that Liverpool is bigger than the Jets.
Oh well, yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
this is a Bleacher
significantly
Report from
otherwise.
2011. So I mean, this is
I'm talking
also. But I'm just saying that's the article. It's saying
Yeah.
Notre Dame Fighting Irish are at number 21. The Boston Celtics are at number 20. I would say that the Celtics are a lot higher than 20. It has Manchester United as the number one most recognizable team in the world.
I don't know about them, but see, again, I'm not sure about the world. I can't name an international player that played for the Celtics. But you got some guys now.
I
that
couldn't
were-
name you a person on the Celtics right now.
Yeah, me either.
Is
Jason
Jason Tatum, does he still play for the Celtics?
Yes.
Okay. He's the only person that I know.
What about Al
Sure.
Horford? Does he still play for the Celtics?
Yeah.
Okay,
dude-
I can name one.
Is that dude dead?
Oh, geez, I almost said no. That's Al Michaels, and Al Michaels is definitely not dead.
But so let's move off of Notre Dame because we should not give them as much attention as we have already. Fuck them, fuck Kyle.
Hey, like a champion today, unless you lose, like a little bitch.
I will say
I don't have anything against Notre Dame. Notre Dame's probably one of college football team or college teams. They're probably definitely top 10 of teams that I root for. But
yeah,
they're also
I will
competing
say
against my
one
team.
thing. One more thing about college football that I want to bring up: the backyard brawl between WVU and the Pitt Panthers was the largest sporting event in Pittsburgh history.
Largest.
The largest attended sporting event in Pittsburgh history. Taking into
The
consideration,
stadium didn't
yes,
fill up.
yes, it was more filled up by attendance and ticket sales of every single person that came through the turnstiles at the Pitt WVU game. There were more people there than any Pittsburgh Steeler game, any Pirates game, or any Penguins game. Even any Pittsburgh sporting event inside the city.
When the game fucking started, Kyle was taking Snapchats as the game was going on and the stadium wasn't full in the upper bowl.
Mm-hmm. That's just what it says. Let me find
right.
it here. Backyard brawl.
Yeah, even the city of Pittsburgh was talking about it, like on their on Channel 4 News. They were talking about it. It was the most attended sporting event in Pittsburgh ever.
It set a Pittsburgh sports record. The attendance Thursday night at Acrisure Stadium was 70,622, the largest crowd for any sporting event in Pittsburgh history.
How many AFC championship games have been hosted at Heinz Field?
Yes.
I kind of find that hard to believe, but okay.
Yep.
I mean,
It passed Pitt and Penn State's record from 2016, I believe it was.
wait, that Penn State was Heinz Field's previous record?
Mm-hmm.
Pittsburgh's record.
Not the.
I've never seen a Pitt game where that field has been full with every seat.
Here we go. This is as of September 2nd. These are the top 5 biggest crowds in Pittsburgh sports history. Pitt, West Virginia, 70,622. Number 2, Pitt, Penn State, 69,983. Number 3, Pitt and Fordham, 68,918. That was in 1938.
Okay, that would be
Number
whatever.
4, Patriots Steelers in December 17th, 2017, 68,574. And number 5, Penn State Pitt, 68,400 in
How
2018.
in the hell was the AFC Championship against the Baltimore Ravens not not on that list? Like,
I don't know. That just go. I don't know. That's ridiculous.
I mean,
to me.
that hit the decibel record.
Yeah, I mean that's loud. That's not attendance wise. You can
Well,
have
yeah,
you can
but
you
the
can
thing
have
is, you got to have a
50,000
packed
people.
crowd.
Yeah, you can have
in order to-
fifty
I
thousand
don't know.
people that are louder than 70. Let's see
Yeah,
here.
I mean, I can scream louder than 20 people, but that I don't know. That just sounds like bullshit to me, but whatever.
The average attendance last season in 2021 at Pittsburgh Steelers Stadium was
Your
60,000.
last year ended the sold out streak for
Okay,
Pittsburgh.
give me a year then.
I mean, what were the Killer Bees years?
Oh shit, I
I
don't
mean,
know.
2010.
2010.
All right, 2010, they went to the Super Bowl that year. Yeah.
They were 23rd in the NFL. Their average attendance was 63,000.
What about 2009? Because it would have been the 9-10 season.
2009, they were 25th, 63,485.
Well, in
About 11,
representative to the rest of the NFL, they have one of the smaller attendance caps when it comes to stadiums.
Yeah,
though.
I mean,
so it's like
Dallas
you can't compare
average,
it against it. Yeah,
Dallas's average in 2009 was 89,000.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean the average at Washington games are going to be higher because
It's a
FedEx
bigger
Field
stadium.
is one of the biggest
Yeah,
stadiums.
they're number
in
2.
pro sports. Yeah,
Yeah, they're number 2. As of
And they have a pretty-
2021, I'm just curious to see where Washington stands in 2021.
yeah. Well, where they didn't even have a name.
31st. They went from
Okay.
2nd to 31st.
Okay,
Number 2 in 2021 was Green Bay with 77,991.
again,
They
Lambeau
are
Field's a bigger field.
They're still like 10,000 or so less than Dallas at 93,421.
Yeah, Dallas' stadium is just huge.
It's huge.
It's
You also
not.
got to think.
It's the biggest non-college stadium in the country, I think.
You got to think some numbers may be like recent numbers may be a little skewed because of the pandemic.
But even still, like, unless they double sell tickets now and just say, "Hey, it's standing room only," like there
Not
are
so
only
much-
so many seats that they have in that.
Yeah, not
Like,
not so much
after sure.
now, not so much
Mhm.
for like 2022, but like 2021 at least. I mean, I know there were still some places that did have that weren't full capacity in 2021.
Yeah.
So I think that's something also.
I guess
to,
I'm still just a little butthurt about the fact that I don't believe that Pitt West Virginia game, from what I saw, was the most sold out crowd in that stadium's history, because I was literally watching them play while the upper bowl had like 3,000 or 4,000 people in it.
Yeah.
Like that's I guess why I just don't believe it, but it is what it is. So
I mean,
But
you got to
it's
think.
also the records aren't always for people in attendance, because
No, that
it's-
was
what would they be for?
that
then?
was
of
the
tickets.
attendance.
it's the amount of tickets that are sold. Because I
See,
mean,
that
now
would
I
make
guess
more
that would-
sense to me.
Yeah, because they're selling standing room only tickets in that rotunda there at the end of the stadium.
And you have to think how many people aren't going in at halftime or even at all because they're still tailgating too.
Yeah.
Like that's a huge aspect. Like that
Yeah.
would make more sense. But when Bo said like by the turnstile, like to me
That's what I heard. It was by the
I
amount
mean,
of people that went
I haven't
into the
seen
stadium.
any official record or anything like
Yeah.
that, but I mean, I've seen the when they have said the statistic, but again,
Yeah.
I don't.
But I will say one thing: AT&T Stadium in Dallas or in Arlington has held more than 100,000 people at an event down there. They held.
do they let people on the field?
This was for. I mean, it was for WWE WrestleMania. They had 156,352 people in that stadium at one time.
Dude, there's no way. That's
Yeah.
double the stadium capacity.
Yeah.
150,000 people.
You also have to think though that they have 100 yards of field and only a 20-foot by 20-foot square in the middle of that place that they can fit people.
I don't think you can fit 50,000 people on a field if they were like if they were packed like
That's
sardines
just
in a
what it
can.
said. April 22nd and 23rd.
Man, those records, like,
It makes
I
you
just
wonder.
think they're all bullshit. Yeah.
It makes you wonder. They
Hey,
asked him,
everybody listening to this challenge for you. Do something nice for somebody today. Do a random act of kindness for a stranger that you don't expect to be repaid. And if they ever say anything to you, just say, go ahead and do it back. Do it to somebody else. It's a challenge for this week.
all right, you know what? Let's end it there. That's a good way to end the episode. So you can find us on the YouTube at Deep Impact Podcast, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Go to when you go to the YouTube page, make sure you go hit the bell and make sure you subscribe and get those notifications by hitting that bell and hearing the nice little. It's a
This is
softball.
already
I
discussed.
love it. I love it.
This is already discussed
perfect.
that you were supposed to be prepared with your new
It was
water
your
bottle.
water bottle.
Oh, it's downstairs. Oh shit, I forgot about that.
This is why you suck.
Ting. All right. You know what? I gotta go eat. My wife's blowing up my phone. Same time, same place next week.
That's good.
All right.
Strange speed.